Hello! Today we'll discuss the Paladin build. Paladin class consists of defense and storm masteries, so it's a hybrid. That means you will have to be investing in strength and the intelligence aspect of the gameplay. Which mastery to start with? I'd say defense will be your main mastery. It might be a good one to start with, however, defense is also incredibly slow at the start, so this is really up to you. I personally would advise you to start with Storm and then pick defense up as quickly as possible whenever you get a chance, and take that over after you've gotten some basic Storm skills to keep you going. Because in the beginning you only need like first couple of tiers of Storm anyway, and you can level that up later. So I'll move on to the skills themselves. Let's look at the defense mastery first. On the left hand side you've got the more defensive defense skills. So you've got adrenaline, rally, and battle awareness. With those you really can go for any that you want. I would advise you at least one of those trees, if not two. All three will probably use up too many skill points, so just pick any one or two from those. I usually pick adrenaline, but I usually just max out the defensive reaction, but not so much the base skill. And I also take battle awareness. Usually leave 1 point in the base skill and then get the synergies up. Rally is quite good as well, though I don't usually go for it as much, but it does work as well. Now, close to the right hand side, we've got some other defense skills. We've got quick recovery, which is highly advised as well. You should put at least 1 point from early on and then max it out later. Got Colossus form, which is a 1 point wonder, usually good with 1 point. Gives you really huge bonuses to stuff. Gives you huge biceps as well, because you start crushing the monsters, but yeah, it gives you huge bonuses to different stats temporarily. Now we also got two active skills. We've got shield charge and batter. Shield charge I would highly advise you to get, because it's a really good charging skill. Sort of crosses the distance right up to the enemies, and with the synergy you can stun them as well. Batter is a good one as well, though if you had to pick between them two, I would say just go for shield charge. But if you have spare skill point, then batter is a good one as well. I usually max out the base skill and only put 1 point in rend armor, because rend armor is only really useful for hitting 3 targets at once. And on the far right side we've got the passives. We've got the armor handling, which is good for lowering the requirements for the armor, so you can wear good armor earlier on. And that's especially useful for a hybrid like Paladin, because you'll have to split your attribute points between strength and intelligence, so it's quite good. This skill is very useful for a Paladin. And with the offensive skills, I would highly advise you to max out Shield Smash, Disable, and Pulverize. All are incredible skills. Oh yes, I also forgot to mention the Concussive Blow. Usually that skill restricts you only to clubs, because that causes you to stun the enemies, and it's quite good with Paladin, who's got other stunning skills as well. But if you put points in it, it's at your own risk. You will be restricted mostly to clubs, because clubs are the only ones who benefit from this. If you wish, you could put 1 point in it, but other than that, I don't think you really need it that much. Now Storm, there are some pure spellcasting skills here, which actual spells, and you've got some which are more buffs, debuffs. So as a hybrid that Paladin is, I would highly advise you to get the buffs and debuffs, and then if you have spare skill points, you can get the actual spells as well. Now, with the buffs and debuffs, you've got Storm Nimbus, which is a buff, and that is a highly advised if you want some elemental damage output. I mean, that's the reason why you picked the hybrid class, I assume. So Storm Nimbus would be a good tree to max. And then we have some other supporting skills. You've got Storm Surge. At 1 point is good enough, because that can occasionally stun the enemies all around you. And you got if you get a Wisp, then with his synergy, he'll give you some resistance to cold and lightning, and also will give you like plus 100% increase to elemental damage which you deal, which is quite good, because as a Paladin you're a hybrid, so you're not entirely powerful in elemental aspects, so that can actually help you. Now you got some spells as well, which you can get. You can get Thunderball, 1 point in that and 1 in the synergy. That can stun a group of enemies, which is not too bad. And we also have, by this stage you probably already spent quite a lot of skill points, I guess. So you could go for one of the spell trees, either Lightning Bolt, Squall, or Ice Shards. I probably wouldn't advise Ice Shards so much, but Lightning Bolt or Squall are quite good choices. Squall is actually a nice debuff, which really softens up the enemies, while Lightning Bolt is just like pure storm power, like just like crashes the enemies with lightning. Although if you want both of them, you could remove points from elsewhere, like from Bata, as I mentioned earlier. But you don't have to go for Bata and just get both of these instead. It's up to you. Or, if you're actually feeling adventurous, you could go for a Spellbreaker skill, which drains the enemy's energy and also deals us excessive damage with that drained energy. It's especially good against magical creatures because it's got like a damage bonus against magical. But that kind of that tree, I think it needs a specific gear setup to help you out. Like if you've got any more energy drain bonuses on your gear, that can be helpful. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, any other storm skills I probably wouldn't advise. And for stats, as I said, you'll be needing to invest in strength and intelligence. So, but don't forget dexterity as well, because you need your defensive abilities still. So, a good ratio to go is 2 in strength, 1 in intelligence, and 1 in dexterity. And at times, if you run out of energy too fast, you could add a few points into energy as well. Yeah, and I think that should cover it pretty much. Hope that was helpful, and bye for now.